I have ranked many things in Project Zomboid in the past, from traits to professions and skills, and today I'm ranking all of the most popular mods of Project Zomboid in Build 42 in 2025. So these are the most popular mods for Build 42 in the last year, and oh boy, there's some great ones. Look, all of these mods are S tier, right? That's why they're here, the most popular mods. So it's kind of hard to rank them. I'm kind of feeling like a dig because I know I'm gonna have to put some in the F tier or C tier or something like that. These are all great mods, I recommend them all, but for the sake of ranking, we have to do a scale here. So let's start, shall we? First we have They Knew by Afterworlds, and this one basically adds a couple of new zombies in hazmat suits and such that you can find, you can kill, and you can loot. And some of these zombies, well, the hazmat suits are cool because you can wear them and they're cool and all that stuff, but also they have some certain pills and vaccines and such things that you can find, and these can prevent you from becoming zombified. They can prolong your infection so you can actually find a cure, and yes, you can actually find a cure. So this mod is great, I feel like, for role-playing, but it's also great if you're very new to the game and you do get bitten and all such, because it's gonna, it's gonna allow you to maybe actually find a cure. Now, it's not how Zomboid is supposed to be played, but it is a cool addition, I feel like, and also role-playing. Role-playing is also great. So, I'm gonna actually put this one up here into A tier. Next, then we have Caster Plus Fishing Mod by Zetronic. This one adds a bunch of new baits, a bunch of new fishing equipment, like hats as well. Those are cool. And basically lots of new fish you can find and you can catch, and some are even trophy fish that you can actually put on your wall. So all of that actually is quite a lot of content for a single mod, and it's really cool, especially useful if you're playing in wilderness survival type of situation, because you'll be probably fishing a lot. And also it's good for long-term survival because you will probably be relying a lot on fishing in long term to survive for your food situation. Because farming just isn't great in Build 42. So all in all, this is a great mod. I will also put this one up here into A tier. Next, then we have Extended Battery Life by Papa Christos. This is basically a small QL mod that just extends the life of the batteries that you can have in flashlights or something like that. It's cool. It's QOL. It doesn't really do anything really special. If you were always looking for a mod like this, then you're gonna be like, hell yeah, this is exactly what I need. But to be honest, batteries are pretty abundant. They are pretty easy to find, pretty easy to loot. So it's not something that you're gonna really be like, oh, I really need this. But if you are a person that really needs this, it's gonna be great for you. But otherwise, like in general, I feel like this is gonna be in the C tier. Then next we have JB's Fireflies by JB Diablo. Basically on summer nights it's gonna spawn fireflies and they're gonna like twinkle in the dark and look really cool. For ambience, this is really nice. This is really cool. It would be nice if this was like part of vanilla. It would actually be really cool to see. But for a mod, this is not really a mod that you're gonna be like, go out of your way to look for a mod that adds something like this. And it's also just in summers, it's also just, in darkness, which is where you're usually going to be sleeping. It doesn't really add as much compared to some of these other mods. So if I have to put one mod into F tier out of all of this, I'm sorry JB, it's gonna have to be your Fireflies. Now that doesn't mean don't check out this mod. It's a cool mod. All of these are. Again, you should check all of these out. There's gonna be links to them in the description. But just for the sake of the ranking, this one has to be F. Next, then we have Footprints in the Snow by Space Donuts. And this one, basically, when you get to the snowy part of the year, it's gonna show your footprints in the snow, which is actually really cool and in my opinion should be part of vanilla. It also has a sub mod that you can enable, and it's gonna show zombie footprints. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of zombies out there in the world. So in one way, it's really cool that you can like track zombies. Oh, there were zombies here a couple of minutes ago. They do disappear after a while, right? So you can actually spot that and see that. But in large groups, this can get really janky. And apparently also for like lower end PCs, it's not recommended to use or just lower the amount of zombies. So it's kind of they're there, but I feel like this should be vanilla. They should figure this out, and if a mod should be a vanilla, then it's a pretty good mod. I think for the sake of this, because especially since most of you watching these videos don't even ever make it to snowy parts of the year, you're never gonna see it even, I think I'm gonna put it in the middle, so B tier. Then next we have Clean Hotbar by Rocco. Rocco has made some insanely amazing mods. That's all I can say. There's like a bunch of his mods, or her mods, I'm sorry, that are like really amazing. You should check them all out. And Clean Hotbar, one of my favorites, 100%. It basically cleans up your hotbar, as the name suggests. It shows the condition of your weapons, and yes, there were mods like that in the past. Some of them are broken, some still work, but this one I feel like just kind of wins it. It shows the ammo amount in, let's say, a pistol or a gun that you have. It shows the amount of water, if you have any of those backpacks that you can actually add a water bottle on them, or anything like that. It's really cool, it's really useful. It's one of those that I installed it, and I never uninstall it. It's basically part of my every playthrough, so I can highly recommend it. It's definitely up here in the S tier. Then next we have Project Indiana expansion by 360 No Hope. This one basically adds a huge new part of the map on the other side of the Ohio River, so past Louisville or past Riverside and the other side of the river. Basically, it's ginormous. There's lots of smaller towns which are all like accurate to real life. Well, as much as they can be in the game, of course. It's a lot of rural areas as well, so you can, you know, do all kinds of farming and hunting and all that stuff. The only problem with this one is that it's still quite unfinished, which is understandable. It's ginormous and it's huge, so there's a lot of work to be done. And just for that fact, I cannot rank it all the way up top, but it's still great. There's a lot to explore, and I'm really looking forward when it's finished, because then that's gonna give me, a creator for Project Zomboid, a lot of extra playtime. So yeah, it's great. It's not finished though, so we're gonna put it out here into B tier for now. The next we have More Damaged Objects by Cardasturo. I've used this in my Weekman series if you watched. I've probably used it in a couple of other ones if you watched. Basically, when you drive a car, you can like break fences and you break ramps and such. So it adds a lot more. I'm sorry, that's my microphone being squeaky. It adds a lot more stuff that you can break in the environment, so that is always cool, right? It adds more stuff to do, but I don't think it's like one of those that's really gonna add too much to it, so I feel like this one is like low B tier as well. Then next we have a Shelter Hold Beehive again by Rocco. I personally haven't played much with this, but it looks insanely amazing. Basically adds a bunch of new beehive buildings that you can build, and I think it's also like a honey extractor and all that stuff. Basically, you can be doing beekeeping in Project Zomboid, which I feel like it fits really well into the whole like build 42, where we have like animals and such that we can deal with now. So if you're playing like a farmer playthrough, I think this is amazing. What is also great is you can actually get a lot of honey out of this, of course, you know, beekeeping, and then add that honey to various foods to increase the caloric value. So in the long run, you will also want high calorie foods, right? Because that's what you need to eat to survive long term. And I feel like this really adds up to it. Plus it gives you another like small side thing that you can work on, you know, catch wild bees and then transform them into your own bees that can do stuff. I really have to play more with this because I haven't much, but I feel like this is like one of the best mods out there, and I will gladly put it up here into A tier. Then we have Right Click Watch to Set the Alarm by Thumb Zero. I've been actually using this mod pretty much throughout the whole build 42 because it's really useful. Just right click on your watch, set the alarm, and that's it. I've been setting lots of alarms because that's just how I play, and usually you have to go into inventory and then click on the watch and set the alarm, all that stuff. Here you can just right click it. What annoys me is that when you move, it closes the window, but that's, you know, just a small thing. But it's otherwise a great QOL mod, but it just adds like one thing, right? It doesn't add too many things. Still, I feel like this is a great QOL mod, and I'm gonna put it out here into B tier as well. Then we have Wax animated can models by Wax, and basically it does what it says on the tin. It animates every single can with a proper sprite and everything, and when you're opening, you're gonna basically see your character properly, you know, doing the cranking thing and opening the can, which I feel like it's really a lot of work into such a tiny little part of the game that, like, kudos to the creator. That's amazing. That's really awesome. But it's also a thing that when I'm playing the game, I also, like, when I'm opening a can, I press F4, F5 or something like that just to speed it through. I would never see this animation in game, actually. So for me, that doesn't really you know, make it a mod that I need to have. But if you're like a can opening enjoyer, hey, it's definitely for you. But alright, so I'm gonna put it out here into like C tier. Then next we have Mowing with a Scythe by Amenofis. Basically, eventually over time your lawn is gonna start to get overgrown. There's gonna be like ferns and small bushes and such, and this allows you to use a scythe that you can find. That I don't think it's an actual weapon, so you can't really use it as a weapon, but you can use it for this to just nicely mow down the lawn, and it's not gonna do like the patches of just dirt that it does in vanilla. It's gonna, you know, leave the nice pretty grass, which I am pretty sure this mod must have been made on a request by like an Englishman or something like that, an English lord who really wanted to have a nice grass in Project Zomboid as well. It's a cool mod for that, but I don't think it's really like that useful. So for that, I'm gonna put it out here into C tier as well. Then next we have Eyewear Rework Project by EA Lord of the Sports, which basically replaces all the vanilla glasses in eyewear by much higher models, much higher resolution, so it looks better. Like, you know, again, kudos to the creator that would actually go out of their way and do something like this. That's probably a lot of work, and it's for like such a tiny little part of the game where it's like, you know, the glasses and such, while they look cool, they're small. I personally would probably not notice the difference. It's a small difference. Yes, if you look for it, it's noticeable, but in the grand scheme of thing where you're playing, you're probably not gonna be noticing this while you're smacking zombies. But, you know, it's always important to look cool in games while you're fighting zombies. That's why I always say you shouldn't be wearing like high level armor. You should be wearing armor that makes you look cool, right? And these glasses definitely make you cool. That's why I always wear in-game. I wear aviators because that's what I would also wear in real life because they are cool, and I'm a cool guy, clearly. Anyway, I am rambling. This is a cool mod. You should check it out. I'm gonna put it out here into C tier. Then next we have Alarm Syndrome by PPPPPL, which basically adds like tiny little icons to the watches that you pick up if they have an alarm set, or if you have like a full inventory of watches and one of them is ringing, it's gonna show you which one is ringing. And also, if you have multiple ones that have alarm set on, you can actually like click it off on all of them. So that's really useful if you're gathering like lots and lots of watches that you're then planning to first read the electronics book and then dismantle them for electronics XP. Really useful for, you know, electrical leveling up. But generally, that's something that you might do like early on in the game, but then not really that much anymore. So it's kinda ish useful, but kinda also not that. It's a cool mod. I like the icons as well, but it's still, in grand scheme of things, I think I'm gonna put it out here into like C tier. Then next we have Water Pipes, aka Plumbing by Slayer. This is a mod that I've used before, or its previous version in build 41 and such. And it basically allows you to place water pumps next to like lakes, rivers, or wells or something like that, and then build pipes all the way to your house and basically plumb it. You can actually supply your whole house with running water, and it just works. It's great. You can also add sprinklers to your crops, which is really cool because, you know, if you're playing like in a very dry climate, or if you set your like rain to low or something like that, it will help you with watering your crops. And I feel like it's just such a huge amount of work with such a like huge potential for like late game and you know your base building needs, which I love in the game. I love base building, so this is really cool. I feel like this definitely deserves to be up here in the A tier. The next on the list we have Scavenging Skill by Afterworlds. Basically it's really simple, adds a new skill. The more you loot, the better you get at scavenging and the higher the chance you'll find something extra, which can be really useful and really cool for like very low loot runs. That could be, you know, something that allows you to survive long term because you'll be able to find some extra things that you otherwise might not be able to if the loot is really, you know, set to very, very low. But otherwise, I feel like if you're playing with normal loot settings, you are finding way too much stuff that you can actually carry anyway, so I don't think it's needed. But I feel like it's still a very cool idea for a mod, and that kind of a skill could probably be part of the vanilla Project Zomboid as well. I'm gonna put it out here in the middle of pack B tier. The next on the list we have Home Inventory Improved by Sam. I've actually used this one quite a lot. It's really useful, especially if you constantly forget what you have looted already, what you have not. Have I found a pipe wrench yet? Did I bring it home? Did I find this book? Something like that, you know. When you play for a long while, you always get to question yourself. Did I do that? Did I not do that? I don't know. Basically, what this allows you is set a zone in your home base, and all the items that are in there will then be shown in like a window that you can open, and you'll be able to see. So if you're like, I'm looting a pipe wrench, should I take it home, or do I already have like 7 back at home? Let's check. And then you open that window and you check, oh, I do have 7 pipe wrenches, I am not taking this one, or something like that. So yeah, very useful mod. You should probably use it if you get lost and you don't know what you've looted yet, like I often do. I'm gonna put this one up here into A tier. Then next we have Useful Barrels by Gigawatt. I also used this one, I believe, in my Weekman series. It's actually pretty cool because there's a lot of like these like metal barrels in the world in like vanilla Project Zomboid that they're just useless. That you don't really need to, you know, you can't really do anything. There's like a couple outside of Louisville, they might have added more in Build 42, I don't remember, that you can actually use, you know, as actual proper barrels. But these ones that you can see on the picture there, these are not useful. But with this mod, you can actually, you know, you can open the lid, you can actually cut the lid, so you can actually have it as a water barrel, you know, or the rain water barrel, I should say. But otherwise, you can store like stuff inside, like gasoline, and then you can park your car next to it, and you can actually refuel straight up from the barrel. So it's very useful for that. I'm actually gonna put it up here in the, let's say, high B. I feel like it's really useful to have this one. It's not really like game changing, but it's useful. You know what is game changing? I should probably have put the whole plumbing up in S tier. I feel like that is way more game changing. I'm actually, yeah, I am fixing that. I'm putting this into S tier. That's how it is. Then next we have another mod by Rocco, The Shortcut. I've been using this since it showed up on Steam Workshop, and it's just great. It adds like another like tiny little hotbar that you can toggle on or off, and you can actually set items in there that, you know, you cannot put on your actual hotbar. And also, it's not just for items, it's also for crafting and building, which is what I usually use it for, especially building. So you don't need to like constantly open the bulky vanilla like crafting windows and building windows that are just not very good. You just put like a couple of items. Let's say you're building a base and you need to build a lot of fences, you need to build a lot of walls, and you're gonna be opening and closing the build menu constantly. You just put these on the shortcut, and then you just click off of that and you just build off of that, and it just saves you a lot of time, a lot of menu browsing, which is kind of a problem sometimes in Project Zomboid, especially with some of the new crafting updates. And I feel like it's great. It's great. So shortcut, I am putting it up here into S tier. And last but not the least, we have Project Summer Car by Black Moons. This one basically adds like a million tiny little moving parts to your car's engine that you need to now work on and fix and replace and all kinds of stuff, but also improve your car with. It just adds a ton. Like, you know, the name suggests, if you've heard of that certain game before. This mod is really amazing for every wannabe mechanic, and you know, it can be slightly overwhelming for like a beginner. If you're more of a beginner, you probably don't want to just jump into this yet, especially if you haven't like played around with cars in Project Zomboid yet. But if you're like for long-term survival and, you know, something that gives you something to work on and improve your car and just make it better in the long term, because cars are such an important thing in Project Zomboid, it is really amazing. And there's so many new things that, you know, this adds and must have gotten, like, a lot of work must have been put into this mod. So yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna actually put it up here into S tier. And there it is. That's my ranking of the top 20 most popular mods in 2025. Let me know what you think about my S. Let me know what you think about my F. But not actually my S. Never mind. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.